everyone, and welcome back. I'm Mary Perricone, and I'm here with Dr. Suzanne Lie for our continuing conversations. And today we're going to begin by talking about creating your own reality. Hello, Sue. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm feeling like I'm not here, so I'm just going to go right into the one who is here more than me being here. We are the Arcturians, and we wish you all to take a moment to feel how bright the light has become. We are asking all of you now to begin to recalibrate your sensory perceptions to the expanding frequencies of light that have not been able to pierce the density of Gaia's aura since before the fall of Atlantis. However, above the cities of light, which are expanding more and more, there is a portal through which this higher light can enter in to the beings who are able to receive it, as well as to the areas and the portals of Gaia.
Wow, that is a message that I would never have expected this morning. Thank you, Sue, and thank you to the Arcturians. That more light than in the last 10 to 50,000 years is being infused into this planet through portals that are above the cities of light. And we have access, A, to that light, and B, to those portals.
And C, to the cities of light.
And C, indeed, to the cities of light. And so those portals throughout the planet are being infused. And a greater saturation, if you will, or an infusion of light is coming through. Hallelujah. Is that great news or what?
And it's not just that more light is coming in. More light of a higher frequency is coming in. And it is through these higher frequencies of light that those who have expanded their consciousness can perceive the holographic matrix of Earth. Before, when that matrix was perceived, primarily it was the third, fourth dimensional matrix, for it was much like a darkened room where only one light was on. You could see the area in which that light had illuminated. However, around that small area of illumination there was darkness. Now, what is beginning to occur is that whereas before you could only see that area in which you held your third dimensional form and your fourth dimensional astral dream body, now those who have been doing the work, shall we say, those who have been clearing and meditating and reaching up into their higher selves and moving down into their subconscious to clear and clear and clear and clear again. Those ones are coming into this awareness of that next level of the third dimensional matrix. And that level of the third dimensional matrix is the entranceway into the fifth dimensional new earth. And so we ask all of you who find yourselves having the ability to hear or to read these words. To take a long, slow, deep breath. Pull in that higher light through your pineal gland and imagine that matrix before you. Mary, would you like to share with others how you are perceiving first that third dimensional matrix before you?
Yes. I see unlimited potential in these portals, and I would interpret that as there is a portal on the fifth dimension that we have access to that brings us into those higher frequencies of light that the Arcturians are referring to right now. So that accessing those energies, those fifth dimensional energies, allow us and call us to creating reality from the higher dimensions into the fifth dimension. Now, it's all a spiral. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, etc. It's all occurring simultaneously, if you will. But the access to those energies coming in are available to us. And one of the things that comes to mind are a different type of ascension symptoms, if you will, than we were experiencing a year ago or 2 years ago. There is, for me, a greater awareness of the compression of time or no time. And I actually can say that most of the time I feel like I am out of time. I can no longer keep track of time within that third dimensional matrix. So there isn't any other option for me currently than to go with this flow of energy. And it gives a whole new meaning to that phrase, go with the flow, or let it happen. Because when you are in it, you can only be it.
Yes, that is very true. The being and the doing are beginning to merge for those who have allowed themselves to let go of the third dimensional restrictions. Now, this is a selective process, for there are certain third dimensional restrictions, third dimensional rungs of the third dimensional matrix that are vital for the support of the physical earth vessel. Those are components of your earth vessel that you will need to continue. You will need to continue feeding your earth vessel until the time in which you are able to eat pure light. This needs to be a long, slow process, for if it is too sudden, you can destroy your physical vessel, which you would experience from your third dimensional mind as a starving, as a dying, as a not getting enough nutrition. Now, the issue is that in order to switch over from eating from the third dimension, which is the food that is grown on the planet and the animals that come from the planet, switching from that third dimensional perception, moving into that imagination of that fourth dimension when you have dreams and you're at a great celebration and everyone is eating. And you might wake up hungry because you have not fed your physical body. But those dreams are beginning to teach you how to feed yourself light. Now, the process of feeding yourself light needs to be a slow exchange, where the food that you take into your body has higher and higher light quotients, Basically, what that means is that to your particular body, because everyone's body is different, as everyone is supporting different galactic versions of themselves. So it begins by the food that is easy for you to digest. If the food is difficult for you to digest, then your consciousness is lowered while you are in the process of digesting your food. However, as you begin to realize the food that is easily digested, then that third-dimensional process of keeping your third-dimensional earth vessel fueled, much like going to a gas station and filling it up, will be less of a distraction to the you who is wearing this third-dimensional vessel. Would you like to comment on that, Mary?
Yes, indeed. I think many of our listeners use a process or a mantra when they are eating. And just recently, I was guided to infuse the food that I eat with sheer energy, and when I do this, the food tastes different. I am filled up after only perhaps a few mouthfuls of the food. And indeed, our intent, our food is infused with light through our intent. And so we, in fact, create that integration of the infusion of light into the planet, into the food, into Gaia, into the individual, because we are all one, we are all integrated, and it is in the expansion of our awareness and our perception and our intent, and taking responsibility for doing it. And the Arcturians framed it so beautifully, so simply, in a way that hopefully every single listener or reader of this program can understand and begin to use. Now, I know over the past few years, I have changed the way I will use the term, I blessed my food. I have changed the way I have blessed my food. If I take a glass of water, I write love on the outside of it. If I take up a piece of fruit to eat it, I hold it in my hands and I write love on that piece of fruit. So my intent is for that food, to be infused with light and for my highest good. The Arcturians also mentioned something that we've heard before, but I think they said it a little bit differently. And that is that this is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen all at once. It's not a flash, if you will. But as our bodies expand, as our awareness expands, as the light within our bodies expand, and the frequency and the vibrational frequency expands, then we are able to experience and integrate that infusion of light. It's a step-by-step process, not all at once. I've read many comments and articles within the lightwork community where there is an impatience. There is an impatience. When is it going to happen? It hasn't happened. But I believe what I hear the Arcturians saying is, it has happened, it is happening, and it will continue to happen. And that is the ascension process, the expansion, and the infusion of light, personally and planetarily.
Yes, and it is just a matter of connecting with the impatience of the third dimensional self, which is built by time And then as soon as one says, when will it happen, they have just decreed that it has not happened yet. And so the very question of saying, when will it happen, pushes it into the perceivable future, because you have now placed your consciousness into time. And then when you say, I'm so sick of this, I want it to happen now, you have decreed that you are sick and that you are impatient and that you are unhappy. And so that is exactly how you will feel. And it is so important that we listen to our thoughts and emotions. And I know with myself, from listening to my thoughts and emotions, I hear a lot of thoughts and emotions that I am shocked that they are coming from me and they're living in me. But how can I clean them out if I don't look at them? Now, I wanted to say something about the eating, Mary, because you were kind of talking about the high road in that you were doing meditations and you were writing love and putting things into light, which is wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. Now, I, on the other hand, have taken this other track where I'm just listening to my body. My body has taken over. My body said, Sue, don't eat that. My body said, Sue, you need to eat this. My body says, no, if you eat now, you're not going to be happy about this. So I have taken this other, whereas you've gone up into your superconscious, I've gone down into my subconscious and just let the body take over the process. And we are an example of that entire process because, of course, I'm still meditating and, of course, Mary, you're still listening to your body. But it's interesting that we are representing these two different ways of doing the same thing. And sometimes we might feel very in a high state of consciousness and be able to bless our light onto whatever it is that we partake of. On the other hand, sometimes we may just be about life and we can just develop a new relationship with our earth vessel instead of us being the boss over our body. Realize that our body is the vessel that we're wearing. And within this vessel, it's like with your car, there are certain things you need to do to your car. And your car will beep and leave messages and let you know, your tire is flat, you need gas, you need to put oil in. And you just listen to your car. And so as we listen to our bodies, we realize this is our vessel. We are not this vessel. We are not our car. And we have planted ourselves inside of our vessel. And we can put it on automatic, and the vessel will say, out of gas, this is the kind of fuel I need.
Wonderful analogy. Thank you for that. Because we all are very conscious. Now, with our cars, to continue that stream, we are advised to be proactive. So to have the car serviced before the little light comes on that says service soon. And we do that through mindfulness, being aware of and listening to our bodies, B, knowing through good sense how to feed our bodies, and C, making that what we would call muscle memory. We automatically know whether a certain food is good for us. There's a lot of science behind this as well today with the foods that are appropriate for certain blood types. And of course there's a whole science being developed around this, as well as the science of energy medicine. And we can use all of the above or some of the above. As you were talking, Sue, what came to me was an exercise that I've done a number of times that I would just like to share, and it is so simple, just in case we are not practiced in listening to our bodies. And that is, whatever food you're going to eat, you hold it in your hands, in your cupped hands, and you place it right at where the rib cage meets, underneath the breastbone, and you just place it there, and you stand up, and if this food is compatible to your body will rock forward in a rocking motion. If it's not appropriate or suitable for your body will move backwards. Now you can test this for yourself. You could take a piece of fruit, place it there, and see whether you rock forward. And then you could take a food that you absolutely know is not in your best interest to eat and place it there. And for me, invariably, I would rock backwards. And this is one of the ways that you can begin to develop an intuition as to what is good for your body. Obviously, if you're in a restaurant, you're not going to take a plate of food and stand up and place it there and wait for yourself to rock forward. You shouldn't have to do that because we automatically know what is the best thing to put into our body.
Yes, that's a great one. I will definitely try that. And now I'd like to speak a little bit more on this other end of moving into the vessel that we are wearing and realizing that the vessel we are wearing is actually an animal. And when you look at animals in nature, they can tell this is something that is good for my body to eat. This is something that is poisonous. I am thirsty. I will have this amount of water, but I won't have more than that because that would not be good for me. I am hungry. I will eat this amount, and that's how much I will eat, and then I will stop. And respecting what our body has to say to us, because our consciousness has already transmuted into its multidimensional self. And as our body has transmuted, now we can learn to unconditionally love what our body is, what our body is telling us. So with our higher sense of consciousness, we can move into the vessel in which we are living and say, okay, vessel, I live inside of you, and I appreciate that you have offered me a portal through which I can experience this marvelous time of planetary ascension. And please help direct how I need to care for you. And know that the answer is there.
Wow. The phrase that we've used so often in our society, that something starts at home. Ascension starts at home. It starts within our own bodies. Our bodies have to be prepped or prepared, if you will, to receive the higher vibrational frequency of light. And I don't mean to downplay that at all, because it is an upgrade in our electrical system. An upgrade in every system within our bodies has to be realigned, recommunicated with, and our conscious mind can help facilitate that, first by accepting the reality that our bodies are upgraded. We've heard a lot about upgrades in our DNA. We've also, interestingly, heard a lot about the children who are being born in this time frame, if you will, coming in fully wired. Now, I live in an older home, and over the years, we've had to have our electrical system upgraded, our plumbing upgraded, all of the infrastructure, if you will, and we are very, very aware that we need to remember and have regular maintenance. You need maintenance on your furnace, on your air conditioner just as you do on your car. And your home, your physical home, the place where you abide and reside, is a representation of your physical body. So you take care of your home within and without in order to move forward in your life. So these upgrades are occurring, and our responsibility is the awareness and the development of our intuition. So in the case of food, we know what is the best intake.
Yes, and if we are living in an older home/body, we have had lots of, quote, time to gain wisdom. However, our bodies that we live in are not going to upgrade in the same manner as those new bodies that have just been inhabited that are already updated. So we are like the old automobile that you have to really keep taking good care of over and over again, because the automobile is updated. But if you look like in Cuba, they have cars from the 50s, and they just keep them up, and they look like brand new cars because they aren't getting new cars. And so we of the maturity who have been in our homes longer, we have to develop a continual upgrade that goes with our cars that are driving, our homes that we are wearing, our bodies that are older. And what I have been experiencing a lot is that because it is an older body, there is a lot of things that I have to let go of. There are many habits that were developed through the long dark cycle. And the United States had a very long dark cycle, people believing the most ridiculous things and letting horrible things go through and by and never changing, pretending like it didn't happen. And so for those who know, that built up a lot of what is wrong with this place. Now that all has to be released. And all of the myriad experiences, children come in new. They don't have to release yet because they're just pulling in. But as you are in an older car, you have to release. There's a lot of parts that need to be taken out and replaced. And I know from having older cars, if you just replace one little part of it, the whole car gets messed up. You have to replace that whole system. And those of us who have been wearing our bodies longer, we are having system upgrades on a regular basis.
Exactly. I love it. I'm having a system upgrade. I'll take it.
System upgrade, yes.
A system upgrade, absolutely. And we're adding more RAM to our internal computer, if you will.
Yes, we are definitely doing that through connecting our physical brain to our fifth dimensional, multidimensional mind. And we can often feel that like a golden cloud that mimics our brain but is above our brain. Now, of course, that above below is in physical terms, but when we are feeling it, we can imagine how the aura of our physical body has now moved up to the frequency in which it can overlap with the frequency of our multidimensional mind. And our auras are beginning to expand out further into our daily life and in deeper into our kundalini, which is our own light body, living within the core of our spine.
Just beautiful. Thank you for that. And I think we're out of time for today. Time flies when you have fun, doesn't it?
Time flies when you're in the now.
So thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back very soon with another chapter, if you will, in these ongoing conversations. Have a great day, everyone.
Yes, have a wonderful experience of this amazing time. Goodbye, everyone. See you in the consciousness all the time, and see you on the show later. Bye.